Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be, and welcome to an extra interview of Final Cut. Today, I'm joined by an actress, singer, and writer. She's a woman of many talents, so let's see how many boxes she can tick in that category. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Jailen Josey.
Hi.
Hiya, how are you?
I'm well, and you?
Not too bad, thank you very much. So, the inevitable question is, how did you get started out in singing and acting?
How did I get started? Well, basically it kind of happened by accident. I guess I was just loud in choir, and my teachers told my mom that I could possibly sing while I was really young, but I was just a really loud child. So my mom just put me into programs that, started to, shape how I sounded and gave me a pathway into figuring out that singing was what I wanted to do. So that was that, and acting, it just came with it because the programs my mom put me in were mainly music theater.
So obviously you just mentioned growing up. Who were your influences?
Yeah. Nina Simone.
Ooh.
I'm a big, back in the day type girl, so I like Cobb Calloway. I like any type of big band sound. Duke Ellington, I could listen to that all the time. So Nina Simone, Cobb Calloway, and probably Duke Ellington, and probably Aretha Franklin too. There's too many people to name.
Not a bad quartet, if I do say so myself, because I really love Motown sound. And the first thing I thought of when you said Aretha Franklin was Motown.
Yes.
So, you made your Broadway debut in SpongeBob SquarePants musical, so congratulations for that. How did you get to be cast in it?
It kind of happened again by surprise. I used to do a program called Broadway Dreams Foundation, and there was just like a sit down with Mr. Tom Kitt, who is the music director, for SpongeBob SquarePants, and I didn't know at the time. I thought I was singing, and after I sang a couple songs on the way to the airport, we got the call that I was wanted to do an audition for SpongeBob. So, and that was in the middle of the summer, and I was trying to get ready to go back to school, and then it just all shook up.
Oh. Guess it took off from there then. Was being in SpongeBob SquarePants musical a memorable experience, or one you'd like to forget?
It most definitely was a memorable experience because I was very young and I didn't really understand what a blessing that it was at the time, and so I got to learn from people who had been in the business and been in the industry for years practically, and I was basically trying to I was trying to copy what they were doing and I guess pretend to be professional as if I was doing it for a while, but it was definitely a memorable experience because of everybody that I got to experience, everybody that I got to connect with. So that's why I believe it was a memorable experience.
Fair enough, can't really argue with that. Moving away from theatre a little bit, you've actually done voiceover work for children's TV shows on Nickelodeon and PBS Kids. Was that one of your goals you had in mind when you became an actress, or was it a case of it just showed up? I'll give it a try, see what it's like.
Honestly, it wasn't on the list of what I wanted to do. But it happened. I was like, okay, yeah, I could do this. So, I mean, it definitely wasn't one of the goals. I didn't even know that it was in the pathway of what I was supposed to do in life, but it came by surprise, just like the majority of the stuff that's in my life happened. It just all kind of came by.
So, you're also a Jimmy Award winner. Congratulations again. How did winning that make you feel?
It was an experience that I don't think I was able to take in at the time, because if I if I'm mistaken, I was either like 16 or like 15, and I remember like being on the stage with like a lot of people who are like my age, and not actually seeing how far the crowd went, and just like not understanding how big of an opportunity it was until like after. I don't know. The Jimmy Awards for me was kind of like an aftershock. It was when it was happening. It was like, okay, this is low. I'm not saying that it was like a summer intensive, but like, okay, this is like, I knew it was huge. I knew it was something that was going to like tell with me forever. But I didn't know how huge it was until after. But it definitely was a great experience. I know that because we're just kids trying to win an award. So.
Well, it was definitely worth it for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely was.
Now, you're also a singer, and you're also releasing your debut EP, which I believe was released last month. Can you tell me and ladies and gentlemen about it?
Yes, so my EP that I just released was entitled Illustrations. It's my first EP. It is basically, I don't believe I'm the best communicator. And I think the way that I reach people, is sonically, and I believe that is my way to illustrate pictures and paintings for people, and that is through sound. So I think for Illustrations is a big compilation of conversations that happen through song. So when you hear it, and hopefully the people who are listening will download it. It's on all platforms. I hope you understand the conversation that's going on through song, or the stories that I'm trying to tell through, how I'm trying to illustrate a picture.
Yeah.
In my EP.
Yeah. I say there's always a story to tell from singers. Doesn't matter how it comes, if people understand it or not, as long as it's your story that you're telling, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you also wrote and co-produced it, so not only is it your voice we're hearing, but you have put a lot of effort behind the scenes too. Sometimes I feel that we don't hear the artist's true intention of a song or album, but I'm assuming that we will get the EP you wanted to put out in the first place.
Yes, actually. So, okay. Music for me started, again, as we said earlier, I got into singing not in a way where I didn't really know. So, and my mom put me in music theater, and of course that was just my only route to sing. So me going on Broadway and all this other stuff, I kind of realized internally that like this wasn't my one true love, and that I had to, do what I really wanted to do, and that was, make songs and sing without it being, in music theater. So basically, I guess while I wasn't, actually like just singing on Broadway, I had to create something for myself to, show people that this is actually what I want to do, and this is basically, what I want to do in life through this EP. So,
will we get an album eventually, or are you just settling for EPs for the time being?
Not necessarily. EPs right now are just like, it's traditionally the thing that you do to gain a bigger, not necessarily gain a bigger fan base, but I'm introducing individuals to who I am.
Yeah. People
only really know me as Pearl or whoever they've seen me portray, or like this is basically introduction to people, and I don't think necessarily everybody knows about what this is, so I have to constantly I'm probably going to stop at like 3, but definitely EP is a way to let people know who you are before you put out an actual album. Like I think you need like a little bit of gumption behind you, or like I believe a lot of people should know about you before, once you put out an album. EP is just a way to get people to see who you are. So yes, eventually I will put out an album.
Yeah, that's fair enough then. For those who are listening to this, who are mulling over whether to buy or download your EP, what genre will it be?
It will be in, right now it's in funk. It's in the funk category.
Ooh, very nice. So since it's in the funk category, for those who aren't familiar, could you describe the feel and the tone of it?
It's a modern way to combine an orchestral sound and the modern sounds of today. It's big band plus modern. And all of the songs have different feels and different feelings and tones in it. Like there's a song on it on the EP called "Can You Do It For Me," and that's most definitely funk. So I believe that each song individually has a different feel and tone for it, but overall it's funk, I believe.
So you said it's downloadable from everywhere. So Apple iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, everywhere.
Basically.
Yeah, fair enough then. Right, just moving away from this. This next part is just a little section I'd like your insight into, because I ask everyone this I interview, just so I can have their take on everything. So,
okay.
What advice would you give someone who is going through a decision when they feel they're getting nowhere with their entertainment career?
So when I was younger, my mom and my father always asked me like what my plan B was. And my plan B, I told them that my plan B was to make sure that my plan A works. So if I feel like if you continuously, egg at it, and if you continuously go for it, something is bound to happen. Yes, it is hard and very scary because it's like you're getting nowhere, but eventually a door will open, and especially if this is something that you love, I believe you're not just placed with dreams and goals just for it to not mean anything, and for you not to have a reason to go after this career. So if you keep going, then what you're supposed to do is supposed to happen.
Considering you are an actress, I think this question, I'm pretty sure I can ask you this question because it is actually quite relevant in the current era we're in. Do you think cinemas will soon be replaced by all the movies going straight to, say, Netflix or Amazon Prime, Apple TV, etc., etc.?
Well, I don't know about that because me and my friends have definitely been going to drive-in movie theaters down here, and so. I mean, it's a big possibility because all I do is watch Netflix and Hulu, but I don't think being at home will ever replace the feeling of going out and watching a movie. So I don't think so, but I mean, I feel like it's kind of already happening. So I feel like it's a tug and pull at this point because all the movies might go to streaming services, but like the feeling of going out with your friends to go see a movie is like something that you might not get if you're just at home, unless you guys just like do an at home movie night. But like the feeling of going out you just probably won't get that. So yes and no, I guess.
Yep, fair enough. And so away from theatre, away from TV and singing, what are your passions and interests?
Passions and interests. So I collect crystals, and I'm a big astrology. I love astrology. I love getting to know people. I know this is going to sound weird, but I love to people watch. Of course, I do it like undercover, like nobody's, people don't just like people watching, but I love anything. I love candles, collecting candles. I'm very passionate about energy and making people feel good and having spiritual connections with myself and my God and the moon and how the moon connects with like the tides and water. I love sitting outside when it's raining. So I'm basically passionate about spirituality.
And sitting outside in the rain, you are actually quite hardcore.
Thank you.
We've talked about what you've done, so shall we talk about if you've got anything coming up in the next couple of months?
Yeah, so I'm basically I'm getting ready to put out the next EP, and I've still been doing stuff, voiceover work and all sorts of stuff, but I think I'm mostly excited about putting out this new EP that I think everybody is kind of anticipating. I've been doing a lot of performances, live performances. I'm doing a lot of live performances for Broadway, and I think that's kind of what's right now. But and then I think I'm doing a huge gala in December too. So it's a lot of stuff happening.
Busy little bee you are indeed.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. What would you like the future to hold for you?
For me, I want to be as big as stars in the sky. I know that's like very weird sounding, but I want to be as huge as I'm supposed to be. Yeah. As I want to reach all of the goals that I'm supposed to reach, and I think that's basically what I see in my future.
Well, I hope may your wish be granted.
Thank you.
To be fair, I kind of wish everyone's wish would be granted. Just kind of how I am. Right. So if people would find you on social media, how would they go about it?
Okay, so basically on social media, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, just type in Jailen Josey. My name is Jailen Josey, and it should pop up.
And on that, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Jailen Josey.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much for being on. The honour is well and truly mine.